a group filed public records requests about the F-35 fighter jets, and I spoke with the leader of that advocacy group about the Burlington Town Meeting Day ballot item, which also questions those jets.
This will be the first time that people will actually have a say in their future.
Roseanne Greco is a former South Burlington City Councilor and a retired Air Force colonel. She spoke to University of Vermont students Thursday about her work with the advocacy group Save Our Skies VT. Greco says there are a lot of reasons she's not a fan of the F-35s.
Health impacts, property value impacts, not to mention, the bombardment of this noise on our children.
But it could be crucial for the Air Guard that the jets arrive next year. Colonel Hank Harder of the 158th Fighter Jet Wing spoke to Burlington City Council during their last meeting, saying, quote, "There is no alternative mission for the Vermont Air National Guard." But Greco says that's not true.
There are direct contradictions between what the Vermont Air National Guard senior leaders are saying, which is, if we don't get the F-35, we're out of business, we have no mission, no job, and what the United States Air Force has said in their environmental impact statement, as well as in court.
Greco cites documents from the United States Air Force that she says contradicts what the Guard says about the need for the F-35s. Burlington voters will soon get the chance to weigh in on whether or not they want the F-35 fighter jets coming to Burlington International Airport. A new advisory question on the town meeting day ballot asks if residents want to cancel the plans to bring the jets and bring low noise level equipment instead. Greco is hoping Burlington votes yes.
I see what the Air Force says this aircraft will do. I see the impact it has. I know there are other alternatives, and I believe it's my patriotic duty to speak up.
Now, we reached out to the Vermont Air Guard for comment. I heard back from officials tonight who say they're planning a news conference for tomorrow afternoon to answer questions about the F-35 fighter jets. Live in South Burlington tonight, Renee Wunderlich, NBC5 News.